Well, welcome and thank you for joining us on today's Ask the Mayor program. Recently, I presented my 2008 State of the City address for the City of Douglasville. In today's program, we're going to be showing you that State of the City address in its entirety. So, stay tuned for today's Ask the Mayor. Before I present the annual State of the City address to the members of the City Council and to the citizens of Douglasville, I want to take this opportunity to thank the citizens of this great city for making this occasion possible. Had Douglasville voters not supported me in my re-election campaign last fall, I would not be serving as your mayor today. Therefore, my first words are, thank you for placing your confidence in me as your mayor. I pledge to continue to serve this wonderful city and its citizens to the very best of my ability. Together, we can keep Douglasville on track. I believe we did stay on track in 2007. And as I look back on all of the events and activities which occurred in our community in calendar year 2007, I believe it was a time of many accomplishments. When I made my State of the City address on February the 5th, 2007, I divided my presentation into two parts. I talked about our 2006 accomplishments, and I talked about our 2006 initiatives that had become our 2007 challenges. Among the 2007 challenges which I defined last February were Hospital Drive, Georgia Highway 92, Fowler Field Park, a government access television channel for the City of Douglasville, higher standards for new development, more public green space, better facilities for our police department, and a stronger downtown area. Overall, I think that we met those challenges in 2007. However, we have not crossed the finish line on some of these items. In a very real sense, some of those 2007 challenges have actually become 2008 goals for all of us. One being the close defeat of the 2007 SPLOST referendum. I was very hopeful that on a countywide basis, the voters would approve the proposed SPLOST program, and I think that the City of Douglasville would have benefited from the Douglas County project to relocate the county jail away from the downtown area, as well as benefiting from several other projects. I know the city would have benefited from the street and road projects, expansion of our parks and recreation activities, from new ball fields, and from improved radio communication for our public safety purposes. Also, the SPLOST funds would have made it easier to proceed with construction of a new building for our police department. Fortunately for our community, we have a significant number of steadfast and determined people. We have not lost sight of our objective to improve our community. And we have not lost sight of our primary objective to build a better community where families can live in comfort and enjoy the amenities of suburban life. Although many were disappointed in the results of the SPLOST referendum, many were extremely happy with the results of the November 7 municipal elections. But in both cases, we should be keenly aware of the wonderful freedom we have in America, where decisions can be made at the ballot box and where people on opposing sides peacefully can accept the results and then move on. Nothing else I report on during the State of the City address will be more important than the following fact. We are blessed to have the opportunity to express our opinion at the polls and then live in the freedom of America and the freedom that America offers regardless of who is elected and regardless of what the outcome of any voting referendum we have. May God continue to bless all of you and this country. Now, as to the state of the city, first I want to report that the state of your government is strong. Second, I want to report that 2007 was a year of many accomplishments. And in addition to undertakings which were completed during 2007, other projects and activities were started in 2007 and were in the implementation stage as we entered 2008. Following are the specifics of those. The condition of this city government, as I said, is strong. And let me give you 3 very good reasons why the condition of the city is strong. First, we have solid leadership. I have said many times that the 2007 City Council was the best overall City Council that I have had the pleasure of working with during my first 2 terms as your mayor, and also including the 4 years I served as a City Council member. While your 8 elected officials did not agree on everything, I believe we have worked together for the common good of this community. A key member of the 2017, Michael Carter, did not seek re-election. He will be missed, but I am confident that Terry Miller will do a great job on the council. 2 members were re-elected without opposition, Roy Mims and John Sheldroff. I was re-elected by a 2-to-1 margin. Clearly there is stability among Douglasville elected officials, and also clearly we have the support of the great majority of the citizens who live in Douglasville. At this time, I want to say to each of our returning elected officials how much I have enjoyed working with you and how I look forward to working together to lead this city along a positive track during 2008. Thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Henry Mitchell, Councilman Charles Banks, Councilman Roy Mims, Councilwoman Kelly Burke Holmes, Councilman Dennis McLean, and Councilman John Sheldroff. And thank you, Terry Miller, for your commitment to run for public office. Second, we have physical stability. The city of Douglasville ended 2007 in a very good financial position, and I am committed to keeping the Douglasville city government in this condition in the future. The July 1, 2006 through June 30, 2007 annual audit released by the CPA firm of Malden & Jenkins confirmed this city's sound financial condition. This audit also gave the city a clean bill of health in terms of its accounting practices and records. I am pleased to report the city of Douglasville has a low per capita debt. The most recent report from the Georgia Department of Community Affairs shows Douglasville ranks way down in 338th place among all Georgia cities, having a per capita debt of less than $114. Because of the city's strong financial condition, the city had the funds necessary to purchase property for a new park site south of I-20, as well as the land to locate a new public safety and municipal court building. While this did reduce our fund balance by $4.4 million, the city expects to end this current fiscal year on June the 30th with a fund balance of almost $7.8 million. In October, I had the pleasure of presenting to Finance Director Karen Callan an award from the Government Finance Officers Association, namely the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. GFOA says that this is the highest form of recognition in the area of government accounting and financial reporting. Third, we have a very dedicated group of city employees. From City Manager Bill Osborne and our department directors, throughout our organization, we have men and women who have a sincere desire to serve the needs of this community. Douglasville has a strong government because of our employees' commitments. I believe 2007 was a very good year in terms of customer service, but I have always maintained a belief that we can do even better, and I am proud that most of our employees feel the same way. I want to know when each of you have been impressed in a positive way by the performance of city employees. And I appreciate those of you who told me in 2007 about the outstanding work by our city employees. Also, I appreciate those of you who told me when you felt an employee didn't measure up to the expectations I have for our workforce. Please continue to let me hear from you so that we can continue to improve our customer service to you. Now, some projects were completed in 2007 while others started in 2007 and will be completed in 2008. There were many solid accomplishments in the city of Douglasville in 2007. Let me present this part of my report on several divisions as follows. First, let's talk about transportation. The widened and improved Hospital Drive opened to traffic in July of 2007. Today, as we enjoy this thoroughfare with 2 lanes in each direction, a center turn lane, and sidewalks on both sides of the road, it is somewhat difficult to remember the difficulties of traveling on this old, overcrowded city street. But I want to remind you that this $3.6 million project that was primarily paid for by the city's splash funds has made a great difference in our community. When I and other officials, as well as many residents and business representatives, participated in the grand opening ceremonies on July the 26th, we felt the new Hospital Drive would be special, and it has proven to be such. Also, it is an excellent example of intergovernmental cooperation because the Georgia Department of Transportation, the Douglas County government, and the WSA aided the city in this project. Now, 2 other projects deserve special recognition. After almost a decade of working through the approval process at GDOT and the Atlanta Regional Commission, and of meeting those agencies' often changing demands for engineering and environmental plans, near the end of calendar year 2007, the city of Douglasville completed its part of this important Georgia Highway 92 relocation project. Now, the city has spent more than $2.65 million in local funds on this project. But this is a good investment because GDOT now is pledged to spend some $70 million for right-of-way acquisition and construction of this multi-lane road between Hospital Drive and Malone Road near the city's northern border. It will include the first ever grade level separation crossing in Douglasville at the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks, and this will greatly enhance safety conditions on this very important north-south traffic arteria of Douglasville's Highway 92. Finally, I call attention to the work that the city continues to do on Chapel Hill Road. Late in 2006, we made some improvements to traffic flow in the area of Arbor Place Mall. In the fall of 2007, we started improvements to other segments of Chapel Hill Road, as well as a key intersection on Stewart Mill by upgrading several of these intersections. From Chapel Crossing northward, the city is installing turn lanes, traffic signals, and making other intersection improvements. This project should be completed this spring with a total price tag of $2 million for its completion. I do not want to conclude my comments on transportation without pointing out that 2007 concluded the city's resurfacing program using 2002 splash funds. During the past 4 years, Douglasville has had the most extensive street resurfacing program in the city's history. All sections of the Douglasville community have benefited from resurfacing of streets in each part of the city. Second, let me talk about the city's cable TV station. When I was elected as your mayor in 1999, I and a number of you made a number of promises to the citizens of this community. And with the help of many of you, I've been able to deliver on these promises, which a review of my previous State of the City reports will confirm. The last of those promises to be fulfilled concerns the television and televising of city council meetings, so people can see what their government is doing, and they don't actually have to come to City Hall to see that. Now we have City TV. You can see city council meetings on Comcast Channel 25. In addition, you can see the program that I do. It's called SMA, or City Manager Bill Osborne has a program called On the Agenda, and various city department directors have programs on City TV. Many of you have participated in those programs and host those programs. We are covering many events in which the city of Douglasville is involved. You've probably seen the crews at a lot of those events. As a matter of fact, Kelly Hunter and her staff do a great job, and I believe the quality of our production and the content of our presentations are valuable to this government and to the citizens who live in the city of Douglasville. Third, I would like to address public safety. The Douglasville Police Department accounts for almost half of the city of Douglasville employees, and for the largest part of your budget. We have 87 certified officers and 22 other employees who work in this department. Currently, they are housed in 5 different old buildings, none of which were designed with public safety in mind. Our police department personnel deserve facilities which will be conducive to the officers' fulfillment of their mission. The police department, several other staff members, and members of the City Council determined the amount of land needed for a new public safety and municipal court building, and made it necessary to select a site away from the downtown area after your investigation. We found that what we considered to be an excellent site on Highway 92 just south of I-20. This location will be convenient to all sections of our community, including reaching the north side via the new Highway 92, the various developments south of I-20 along Chapel Hill Road and Highway 5, and also cover the New Manchester area. We plan to continue a precinct in the Central Business District to ensure a sufficient number of public safety employees and presence, and that it is maintained in the downtown area. Because of the city's excellent financial condition, we were able to use $2.2 million in reserve funds to purchase land for this planned facility and for future expansion. However, due to last September's splash referendum not being approved, city officials must now look for a different way to fund construction of this project. Only a small part of the $16 million project was to be included in splash funds, but Georgia law restricts how a local government can finance major construction projects where any part of that project's funding were to come from a splash referendum that actually fails. We believe the citizens of Douglasville recognize the great importance of providing our police department with the facilities and tools they need to protect this community. Soon, we expect to have a proposed course of action to present to the public. In concluding my State of the City comments about public safety, I do want to touch on 2 of these projects. And the first is the threat of gangs and drugs in our city. Certainly these threats are not unique to Douglasville and Douglas County, because neighborhoods throughout the metro Atlanta area and virtually anywhere and everywhere in our nation have these same problems. But we have not been complacent. We've taken forceful action because our police department has recognized the seriousness of these issues. As Police Chief Joe Wisnett says, and I quote, "We stepped up to the plate to deal with these problems." Briefly, let me tell you some of the things that the city of Douglasville has done to step up to the plate. The police department established a special unit to focus on gangs, and I believe this unit has had a major impact on our community. The police have been aggressive in making cases against individuals caught in what appeared to be gang-related activity. City officials worked with the Arbor Place Mall officials to initiate restrictions on unsupervised young people, and the mall responded with a required adult escort policy for young people at the mall on certain nights. Cooperating with the Douglas County Sheriff's Department in what is known as the Fine Unit, we are working to stop illegal drug traffic on I-20 or anywhere it enters into our city. Recently, our police officers broke up a drug ring and seized more than 2 tons of marijuana. In summary, you can be sure our police department is working hard on the problems of drugs and gangs in addition to all of the other public safety matters. The need for effective radio communications for our police officers is very important, and I am sure each of us recognizes the great danger a lone officer is in when he or she cannot communicate with anyone else in the department. This has been a major issue for our police officers when robberies or other apparent criminal activity has caused them to pursue suspects along I-20 into Atlanta and into Fulton County. While a radio tower located near the downtown area effectively serves the city's 800 megahertz system, adequate coverage does not extend west once you get to the Six Flags Hill or southeast into the New Manchester area. But after a number of initiatives that were not successful in 2007, Douglasville had a breakthrough with its public safety radio communications. And let me briefly explain what that breakthrough was. For several years, the city of Douglasville has had an intergovernmental agreement with Cobb County for the mutual use of public safety radio communication channels. In 2007, we agreed on a new radio connection with each other. This required the city of Douglasville to upgrade its radios from the old analog system to a new digital system. We are connecting our system to a new tower Cobb County is building near the top of Six Flags Hill. Then we'll be able to tie into the Cobb County Master Switch, which is a connecting link to the large local governments, all of the large local governments in the metro Atlanta area. And now this small local government, the city of Douglasville, will have a metro-wide connection for public safety radio communications. We will be able to have that valuable radio linkage for our police pursuits into Atlanta and Fulton County, as well as having the ability for radio contacts throughout the metro Atlanta area. Fourth, let me comment on the Parks and Recreation component of our city government. In 2007, the city moved forward with its plans to upgrade the soccer facilities at Fowler Field. For several years, the Douglas County Soccer Association used this private property for soccer, and after the land was donated to the city of Douglasville to become our first park south of I-20, you began to make improvements to these facilities. That work has continued into 2008 with a walking track combined with a new restroom concession building and other field improvements. Together, these improvements provide an important public amenity in the Chapel Hill Road area near some of Douglasville's largest residential subdivisions. At approximately the same time in 2007 that the city acquired the land for the public safety facility, we purchased and you approved the purchase of 136 acres south of I-20 off Bright Star Road for another new city park. We used $2.3 million in reserve funds, which was possible due to the city's strong physical condition. We employed a Parks and Recreation planning firm to work with us on a design for the future use of this land, including expansion of the ball facilities now in Hunter Park. Excluding the donated Fowler soccer field property, this was the first land acquired by the city of Douglasville for parks and recreation purposes in several decades. Because the 2007 splosh was not approved, we are looking at different financing, scheduling, and options for the startup of recreation activities in this new park. Likewise, the city has been considering other options for the new multi-purpose center in Hunter Park because the 2007 splosh program included a much larger facility. We do have the funds from the 2002 splosh program to construct a much smaller project. I expect construction will begin during 2008. The youth baseball program, which had used Hunter Park facilities for many years, decided to move into the southeastern part of the county into the Boundary Waters Park Complex. As a result, the Douglasville City Parks and Recreation Department took the initiative to establish a new youth baseball program aimed primarily at children who did not want to move and who live primarily within Douglasville. This first season was a success, offering youth the ability to enjoy this great American sport. In conclusion, Hunter Park and Davis Park was the site of many happenings during 2007. Some of those were sports events, classes, meetings, reunions, group and individual exercise, and many, many other activities. Fifth, I want to point quickly to the Community Development Department. In 2007, we continued to work on improvements in our downtown area. Many people were involved in the process of developing a master plan, and this effort is continuing into 2008. The Downtown Conference Center has been extremely successful. So successful, we frequently cannot accommodate all requests. To address this problem, the Douglasville Convention and Conference Center Authority and the city government are considering various options. Many people have gotten better acquainted with the downtown area during the past few years by coming to events at the Conference Center. And in the future, I see the Conference Center continuing to be an integral part of the economic growth within the Central Business District. We were very pleased that the Georgia Foundation and the Georgia Municipal Association selected Douglasville as one of 11 cities included in the 2007 Tour of Georgia Cities. A number of private sector officials and government officials came to Douglasville on April the 18th as the first stop on their tour, and I believe that they were impressed with the reception we gave them out on O'Neill Plaza and in some of the nearby businesses. Appropriately, the theme of the tour was Georgia Cities, the heart and soul of Georgia. The city's Community and Downtown Services Department did a wonderful job in 2007, working with citizen committees and on the Main Street program, the Downtown Development Authority, the Historic Preservation Commission, the Convention and Visitors Bureau Advisory Board, as well as the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce and the Douglas County Cultural Arts Council. Work continued during 2007 to upgrade the downtown area. For the city government, much of it was preliminary activity that in 2008 will lead to development of Plaza East behind the buildings on Broad Street and Church Street, extending from Campbellton Street to O'Neill Plaza. Also in 2007, the corridor lighting project on Campbellton Street and Dallas Highway moved closer to implementation. The American Red Cross opened its new Southeastern Regional Headquarters in the Tributary and New Manchester area, which is within the city of Douglasville. They opened in June. Also, the Tributary Development was selected to be the Street of Dreams in 2007, and thousands of people visited select houses during this spring and early summer event. Now let me conclude with comments about growth management. I and members of the City Council continue to be committed to maintaining a high quality of life in Douglasville. Because of this commitment, we continue to work to make sure that development standards are maintained and that growth management is a reality, not just a slogan. This is why This is why in 2007 the city continued to encourage quality residential development, to discourage high-density housing and small single-family structures without structural upgrades, and to raise the bar for all new construction. Another aspect of growth management deals with a community's infrastructure for new development and how it is financed. The city continues to look at options to remove this financial burden on current homeowners and on current businesses. I thank you for the opportunity to present this annual State of the City address. I look forward to reporting to you at this time next year, not for the purpose of simply making an annual report, but for the purpose of sharing with you the many accomplishments I expect in 2008. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for joining us on today's Ask the Mayor program. As you can see from the State of the City address, the strength of your city is very strong. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to serving you in the future.